All right, a wonderful Tuesday morning to everybody listening to us wherever you are. The Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM, the voice of the people broadcasting from the radio house Ashiro in Abeokuta. Yes, Citizens Forum. Dele Ayodo is my name.
And my name is Chienye. Good morning and welcome to Citizens Forum segment of the Daybreak Show.
Alright, health, they say, is wealth. And when you say health, it's not just about medication, it's not just attending or visiting hospital or your doctor, but what happens, how clean, how your environment looks like is part of what makes you healthy and wealthy. Straightforward this morning, we'll be checking out on our environment, particularly how clean are they. Sanitation. Well, in about 2 weeks or within this year alone, I understand that the Ogun State government has reasons, genuine, to close down major markets or prominent markets within the state. The reason? They've been deemed as very dirty. Well, that's not our market, and of course, if the market is dirty, it's the humans who operate it that makes it dirty. Let's look at our homes, our streets, gutters blocked, drainages, passage where water should go through, blocked with filth and dirt. There's no major road, at least on the major cities or the major towns in Ogun State, where you don't have close to 100 meters and more of garbage dumps. On the highway is an eyesore, some people will say, or many people will say. Is government not doing anything towards this? Should it be government alone? What should you also do to ensure that those things get off our road? If you check from Underbridge, those who know Songo very well, the area they call Underbridge, up to Cana Land to Iju, that's about 23 kilometers, believe it, is lined, littered with bags of stinking deaths on that media. Yes, as I speak, go and check it. That's what you find, about 23 kilometer stretch. If you know Jebode very well, the Benin Road, that one is even a spread. It's like an island on its own. There's something springing up. I just use the word island. We have deaths immediately after Taswed, I think, straight on. And that's the way it is every major city on our road. So we are concerned. We'll be looking at this morning on the Citizens Forum. Once again, good morning.
Once again, welcome to Citizens Forum. Okay, Dele took it from the angle of health is wealth, and I'm also looking at it from this very angle too. Cleanliness, they say, is next to godliness. And we know that all over the world, the importance of cleanliness and its relevance in living a healthy life cannot be overemphasized. Hence, the basis for living life to the fullest is cleanliness. And then we find out that every last Friday of every month in our state, the sanitation, environmental sanitation, is always observed in the state. And then one would begin to wonder, we have all these various dump sites within Abeokuta metropolis, and yet we have sanitation. Is it meeting the very purpose? And how can we curb this poor sanitation in our state? And then we have an able hand in the studio. We have as guest Abolade Olufemi. He is from the Environmental Health Office Association of Nigeria.
He's actually the Secretary General in the state. Mr. Abolade, you are welcome to the Daybreak Show.
Thank you very much. Thank you and good morning, Nigerians. Let me start by saying health is a state of complete physical, social and mental well-being, and not just the absence of disease. So,
can you further explain that?
Yes, what I mean by saying that is that health is beyond just waking up in the morning, I'm physically strong and I can do this, I can eat. Health is beyond that. It goes even to our psychology, to our social and mental well-being.
Yeah,
so when you are not socially and mentally okay, WHO says you are not healthy.
Okay, Abolade, can we quickly find out from you, is there sanitation in Ogun State?
Yes, there is. Sanitation, like is also defined as a taming of the environment to make it less hazardous to the people, to the public. That's what sanitation is. So going by that definition, yes, there is sanitation, but to an extent, the knowledge, the attitude, and the behavior of people shows that we still have a long way to go. Poor sanitation is there. People engage in so many activities that undermine the government's effort and government workers' effort in ensuring adequate sanitation. So we have sanitation, but somehow it is still poor and it's low, and we believe that, well, we'll get there. We'll improve.
Now, the program this one is going to be very interactive. Like you said, it has to do with everybody inside you, your house, your home, and like you just told us, your body, including your brain. That's what we are. So it's going to be very interactive, straight on. All the means of communication are open. Short code 32120. That's the number to send the messages to. The Twitter handle is at RockCityFM, and of course you can also check it out on the Facebook pages. As soon as they come in, we will attend to them. Telephone lines are also there. Again, Chienye introduced Mr. Abolade as an environmental health worker. Well, in those days, we have this group of people, apart from there are some group of people that those ones stays in the bush so people say we lay you for your tax. The other next group of people that when you see them you are scared, apart from the police officer, you are really not scared of police once you are not a criminal, really, so you are not scared. The other set of people you are scared of is the one we call the ZEOs, the zonal education officers, the teachers. Once they come knocking at your door as a child, even as a parent, something, your blood begins to pump faster than it is. What has happened? The third group is a group we call the Wole Woles, and that is the group in which our guest belongs to, Mr. Abolade. It's not the meaning, but actually that is frightening in those days. So the Wole Woles, I'm sure questions will come for you, Mr. Abolade. People believe are gone or are no longer as potent. I just said once you see the Wole Woles, you are scared.
Yeah, they used to be very functional those days, but these days we don't get to find them.
So today people no longer even bother.
Well, thank you. Well, let me say the Wole Woles we are still there and very active. But I can tell you that there are so many militating factors that are rising up against not only the Wole Woles, but even the work itself. Looking at where the name itself came from, because in those days, the name has metamorphosed from, at the beginning, in fact, they call some people the mosquito scouts. That is, in those days, all they do is look for which is the larva of mosquito in water, and that's actually what they were looking for in water when they said they go to people's house and check your amu, and they want to see if there is larva there. But unfortunately, even those days, many of those who are afraid of the Wole Woles then didn't actually know why they were afraid. They just know that when the Wole Wole comes, you are in trouble. So their educational level was low. They didn't have information. In fact, we have had, because part of our studies is that we learn from history how this job started. So we had then that in some villages, in fact, when the Wole Wole gets there, he wouldn't even meet anybody. He only meets the Bale, because everybody must have scampered into the bush. So those things actually have changed over years for several reasons. We ourselves don't want people to run away when they see us again, because we want to educate them. We want to tell them why they should do what we want them to do. Not just that they should just see the EHO, that's the environmental health officer, and run away. No, when they run away, who do we address? Who do we talk to? So we ourselves do not even want people to run away when they see us. But aside that, there are several other factors that I've always tell people that are causing this, a kind of lethargy against this profession. And you agree with me, sir, that it's not only the environmental health officer or sanitation that people have grown the lethargy for. You mentioned the three sets of people. I think the only one that people still somehow fear, and even they will not fear, if not for gun-trotting policemen, and that's tax officers. It's just that people don't fear anything any longer. People have lost values. Today, a teacher will stand. In those days, when your teacher is coming, or even the inspector, the pupil will run away. But today, it's no longer so. Pupils, in fact, they will stand up and shake their teachers. We have lost values. We claim to be educated, but actually we are ignorant. We are educated illiterates. People.
I really enjoyed this one.
These are the things that have caused a lot of lethargy. People feel that now they are educated, but not. They are not. They are not, because they don't know what they should do.
All right, straight on. We are attending to your messages, your questions. Do you have any on the short code straight? If not, let's pick the call 08098687344 or 09091469670.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Could you please speak up, please?
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
This is Abolade Olufemi.
All right, sir.
I think I really appreciate the process here. It's a brother and a friend that I meet in the course of my business. I think I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's one of the best in Ogun. More grace to your power.
Thank you very much, sir.
I think what we need to me personally is the government to give this environmental health officers more power to work. You see, because this political system in our country is breeding a lot of things in people. That when those people want to work, some people will always be saying that they love people, they know people. Like for me, because of my education and interaction with this environmental health officer, when I go to town, I take pure water, I buy in the town. After drinking it, I put the nylon in my bag. It's when I get home that I dispose it. And you see, some of these things are things that are very germane, that we need more education. But essentially, I want more government empowerment. You can use one of them a few days or a week ago when the governor of our excellency, Governor Amosu, went to some markets and closed it. You can see the way people walk. Within 2-3 days, they were even begging the governor to open the market. They were buying, they were selling things inside that dirty environment. And you see, these are very irritating. Some of us have traveled to a few places and we see how things are done. And people say, when I went to Hajj, I know that people that spoke there, and our people should consider that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You have 2 minutes. Next call. We'll take them in batches. We will react.
Okay, we lost that call. While we expect those calls, we have 2 tweets here. We got this one from Ayobami_for_real. I see Ogun State as one of the best in environmental sanitation. Let's give kudos to the present administration on that and urge them to do more. God bless Ogun State. God bless Nigeria. Then there's a question here from Demola Onobadijo. Why are sanitation officers and EHOs, why are they not visiting schools and communities for health education as before? That's a question from Demola Onobadijo. We pick more calls. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Papa Tunde Akadiri. I'm calling from Obantoko.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, you are on. Good morning.
Àwọn wọlé wà ní ìlú ńláńlá. Aṣọ kàkí ni wọ́n máa ń wọ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní kò mọ rírì iṣẹ́ wọn. Wọ́n á sì máa mú wọn ní ọ̀tá. Iṣẹ́ wọlé dára.
I guess that is reading from Malawi, because I know that poem is actually from Malawi.
Yes, from GF. Yes,
thank you for that reminiscence, sir.
All right. Hello, let's start this. Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, this is Gio Shikwadi calling from Ashero.
Thank you.
Yes, I listened to your guest. I think I want to commend him, for what he has really, the kind of, education he has given to the public. But honestly, if you want to look at it from what he has explained, I also noticed that, we have sanitation officers today, well-kitted, well-looking officers, but it's different from what will happen, in those yesteryears. Because I remember when we were young, in 60s and 70s, you see all this wole. The fear of wole coming, you start running, they must not prosecute you, they must not see this. But we now see today, we only just see the uniform sanitation officers because probably they were not being well empowered. And that is why you see them in good uniforms. But, the whole environment is so dirty, that you sometimes wonder, whether these people are actually there. And these are the things that government really needs to do. It's not just the question of just having them around and paying them and just asking them. You see them in offices, but let them go out and prosecute people. Write, give, receipt and find people. Even when they can see you on the road, if you drop pure water, they should arrest you and find you. These are the things that we expect from the people that we have now.
All right, thank you.
Just employ them.
Thank you. We will permit him to give us that. But let me also say this: we are not examining the wulis or the sanitation. So in actual fact, we are examining ourselves. Yes, ourselves, not them. If they are not doing it, what are we doing? That's the question. So we find comfort in saying government. So if government is not doing, what are we doing? So he's just here to also guide us on what to do. Abolade, can you respond to but let me just add this question before it escapes my mind. Nowadays, I see these butchers, those who retail meat in the open markets, carrying it on Okada, open in nylon wrapped, and then some in a pan on their head, walking about. Is it now legal? Is it right to do so?
Thank you very much, sir. Maybe I should start from your question. Well, it's not legal to openly display meat, red meat and other meat, especially when you hawk around. But just like we said, almost the same thing that has befallen every other sector has also befallen that part of the job too. But what we tend to do these days is to do more of education, because we believe that when people are educated and they know why they are doing certain things, they don't want to do it. Recently, in my own area, we're organizing a kind of training and seminar for butchers so that we can educate them more. In the past, I was speaking with one of their leaders. They confessed that in the past it was not like that. In fact, one of their leaders was telling me that at a point they were locked up because they openly displayed their meat. And I told him we are returning to those days. So, like I always say also when I have opportunity to speak on air, that we people, we are the ones who encourage people, these sellers, whether it is meat or food sellers, to wrongly display their goods. If somebody puts his meat on for sale, for example, and nobody patronizes that person, the next day will not do it, because he wants to look for why are people not patronizing me. People, when we should, just like you said, everything is not government. The EHO cannot be everywhere at the same time. If I open my mouth to start telling you what the environmental health officer, yes, cannot be everywhere at the same time. The role of environmental health officers are so much. Somebody talked about schools. I can tell you what our job entails covers about 15 different sectors, different areas that we need to cover, and it's just a few environmental health officers that are still in government employ that we do this job. So that's why we encourage people, when you see nuisances around you, don't just keep quiet. Take a step, come to the environmental health office and lay complaints, and these complaints will be treated. But we must also know that these things also have time. It has processes. So for that of the meat, we are saying is, I know that many of them will be listening now as we are speaking to. It is still illegal in Nigeria, which I know throughout the world too, for meat sellers to display publicly without covering, especially with nets. Most importantly, those who go about hawking. Like I said, we will soon start arresting them again. But because of some of logistics are some of the issues that we have in arresting people, you cannot expect an environmental officer who is just walking on his way to just seize meat and will be walking with the meat. There should be a boss, for example. When he seizes it,
it should be
confiscated in a bus and taken to probably the local government secretariat. So, but when these logistics are lacking, it makes the job more difficult. So that's as regards the butchers. But I want to appreciate Alhaji Ojoyinka for that appreciation. And so it is people that should change what we call the KAB, our knowledge, attitude, and behavior. Why will somebody eat in the vehicle and be throwing it outside of the vehicle? It is ridiculous, and these are things that we do, and then we'll come back again to blame the government for blocked drainages, because what you throw from your vehicle to the road will find its way to the drainage, and 1, 2, 3 makes up a lump and blocks the drainage, and then there will be flooding. And when there is flooding, some insects breed inside the flooding. Apart from the fact that we have houses that will be flooded with water, there will be diesel outbreak. Sometimes our septic tanks where we have our toilets get blocked in the process, they get broken in the process, and then it mixes with our water we drink, and then we have cholera and other diseases like that. So what we do that we think is not does not have an impact, that just one nylon of pure water, that one PET bottle of Coca-Cola goes a long way to cause very, very high level of problem to the society. So it means that it must start from us. That change that we are actually talking about must begin from us. So I want to Mr. Demola on Twitter also asked why EHOs are not visiting schools as before. I can tell you that we are visiting schools. In fact, we are taking more pain now to visit more schools, and the reason is very obvious. Many of us, even children now that in the olden days, let me borrow that word, will still be sucking breast. Now, we'll place them in the crèche because of our work. So we are taking more pain because whatever happens to that child affects economy. If that child happens to contract a disease from the school, the parents will not be able to go to work, will not be able to concentrate even if he goes or she goes. So these are the things, they have multiple effects, ripple effects. So we are taking our steps these days to visit more schools. Today, no school can be registered and approved by the Ministry of Education unless it passes through the Environmental Health Office. We must certify, we give what we call a health approval before the school is given approval by the Ministry of Education. So we enjoy that partnership, and not only that, even while we give the approval, we tell them in the letter that we tell them that the environmental officer can come in at any time to check the level, because sometimes when people are preparing for to get these licenses, they tend to do all kind of preparation. They make sure that the school is clean, they put everything in place, but immediately after that, yes, to meet approval, but immediately after that they relapse. So we tend to go back often to ensure that these things are put in place, and also even to educate the children. I have observed personally that children, if you tell them certain things, they get back home and educate their parents too. So a child that comes from a house where there is no toilet will go back to his home when the HO comes and tell her that, mommy, one man in white and brown came to our school today and he said we should have toilets in our house. I will not go and toilet in that dustbin again. One way or the other, the child is passing a message. So we believe also in that the child can also help in propagating our message. So we do that. So if you notice a school around that something like that is going on, please just ensure that you meet with the Environmental Health Authority very close, or that school falls within its jurisdiction, and report. I can assure you that we will take the necessary step as regards that school. Which other question is here? Okay, I think that's all. Yeah.
Does EHO have the power to arrest and prosecute?
Yes. From the Ogun State laws 2006, from where we have the public health law, the environmental health officer has what we call the right of entry. That is to enter into any premises between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. To detect, to abate, and to ensure that nuisances are abated. Any premises, and including even this studio. It means that EHOs can come here at any time within that and any other reasonable hour. When we say it means that there are some nuisances that are not committed in daytime. Some of them are committed at night. So EHOs also have power. Yes, even in the middle of the night.
Once it's dark.
Yes. So sometimes we do what we call keep watch. We go to certain areas, we stay there around 10 to 12 in the night, sometimes early in the morning between 4 and 6, to see that some people in some places are visited and arrested where necessary. So also from the public health law, DHO has the power to prosecute. Just like we have the powers of the police officer.
I also wish I can add the HO power to my powers. Power to visit, to break into any time of the day. Now, before we go back to the public, take minutes. Abeokuta is the state capital. Abeokuta is supposed or expected to be the most modern developed city in the state. Are you aware that as such today, we still have streets, we still have houses here in Abeokuta that do not have toilets?
Yes, that's very correct. We know that too.
So what are you people doing? How can you assist?
we have been going round. Like I said the last time, I think I was there on the program, and I told them in January alone, for the Abeokuta itself, between January and now, we have sealed up close to 100 houses without toilets. And
you seal it up in the morning, in the night it's open.
Well, just like I said,
open.
You see, these things have processes. Normally, when we visit the premises and issues like that, for example, houses without toilet, we are supposed to serve a notice that we call abatement notice. That notice should notify them what they have done wrong and what they should do. But when we discover that in such places, what they are doing there is likely to trigger a public health concern, we are empowered to seal up that place. Whether it is a living premises.
Without the abatement notice.
Yes, even without the abatement notice. So what we do is that sometimes, because I have had encounters with places where we have sick people in the house. In fact, there was a particular case where we went to seal up the house. There was a woman there who has suffered stroke for close to 6 years. But because of the sealing order which is empowered by the law, they had to bring out the woman. But sometimes we apply certain things. So we tell them, okay, write an undertaking under 24 hours. This and this and this will be done. So that's why you may likely see that is not even done everywhere. We have seen houses that have been locked for 3 months until that job is completed. So if somebody says an undertaking for 24 hours, it means that within that 24 hours, the work must be done. If it is not done, it will be sealed up again because of peculiar issues, just like the one I mentioned. Those are where, but we have challenges, and you permit me to mention some of these challenges. Now, for example, there is a community in Abeokuta. I will mention the name of the community so that we may have people who are listening from that community. It's called Egwuonwu.
Okay, right at the heart of the second.
Yes. So the CDA had to tell her, because our people, when they work, they still started houses, and the whole community, led by the chairman, said Wole should not come to their community again to come and disturb their people. CDA chairman. And some of these people attacked our officers. These are issues that we are having. When there are few officers who are actually working, and we still find people in the community who are not supporting them, and they are still roughly handling them, beating officers. Even though we know that sometimes these people get arrested, but what of the officers that have been injured? So these are issues that we battle with every day.
And I was going to ask that question. Do you go out with arms?
We don't. We are not armed. We are uniformed, but we are not armed. So these are, and there was also an issue. An hotel was visited in the heart of Abeokuta too, somewhere around Abolade Olufemi, and the owner of the hotel, who calls himself a colonel, whether he's serving or retired, I don't know, he had to set up boys to attack our officers. These are very serious issues that is causing a lot of setback. When people feel,
is government aware of all?
Yes, and we give kudos to the chairman of Abeokuta South Local Government, who has been. He's not the only one. We have several of the political elites who have been supporting us. But I'm mentioning him because we have had a lot. I don't work in Abeokuta South Local Government, but we have had a lot. Being the secretary of the association of what goes around. Yes. So these are things that happen on a daily basis.
Alright, in our community, you've heard that.
Oh, we lost that call.
We just need you to do more.
Okay, we got those tweets here. Abolade Olufemi, I give kudos to Ogun government on environmental sanitation. Keep the ball rolling. Adekeye Olayemi is asking this question. What are your efforts and steps taken in enlightening people on poor sanitation? What are your efforts and steps to bring this enlightenment to the people? Those are questions from Adekeye Olayemi.
Can we add calls? Yes, somebody is
Sure.
on the line. Hello, morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank
Good
you,
morning.
sir.
Hello?
We
Good
can
morning.
hear you.
Hello? Good morning. I am MOK from Ayodo. I have to actually cherish the submission of our guests. Despite his submission, all the efforts he said they are being put in place, I think this concerns only the city. Come down to Ayodo, you see a lot of bushes around. And then, it is very mandatory for every person to treat his woman, his surroundings very clean. But when this is not done, that is why the sanitators or what have you will come around, tell him what he should do, and if he fails, they should be penalized. But alas, as it was being done in the past, it's never done again. Sanitators or health officers usually sit in the office. All these what our officer is saying concerns and say the commercial cities. And why local governments are not functioning as expected because of their power being taken to them.
Thank
They
you,
should be
MK.
empowered. They should allow them to actually function.
Thank you, MK. MK, so actually, let's say if it appears that your work is more in the city than the rural. No, let's add other call. Just take note of it. You will respond. Hello, morning.
Hello, good morning, Dele.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Abdul.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Tunde Omolaolu. I'm calling from Abeokuta. Yes, you see, the fear of Wole Wole is the beginning of wisdom in the past, unlike what we have today, as Riley said. But I want to quickly chip in that on the part of environmental officers, I can foresee lack of commitment of some of these officers, not all of them. But I would reduce this to what is happening presently at in our local government, in our local government. What are we talking about? We are talking of corruption. Most of this, I have witnessed some of this. Most of these officers don't even feel concerned. Like you said, they are dressed well, not even feeling the impetus of what is called an environmental marshal or officer. Now, if all this can be embedded in their curriculum at various colleges of health technology, I think we are going to have something good concerning environmental tidiness. Public health curriculum should be entrenched to the fact that when someone is pursuing that course, practicability, aside what is called theory, should be entrenched and make sure that it is tailored and followed in total when that officer is engaged in the public or in private sector. Armed security personnel too should follow you where you are going to do your business.
Thank you. All right, thank you. More calls. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Chienye, our guest, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is Victor, calling from Matanawu. Start taking much of your time. Please, I only want to ask, Nigeria still have a long way to go in a public number that we used to call, like police 911 or something like that. Other officer doesn't have it. Like one man, vigilante that I called last time, here's what happened. He told me that he's no longer in the service. That means that he should give me his private number. Number one is that. Number two is that no respect for those people again. I'm telling you, I'm only letting you to know politicians is coming to that level because the they are not, some of them are not doing their work. We caught them that one toilet that was last time. They came there and just go. After 6 to 7 days, I have to intervene on the case before the person come and clear up the toilet. Another one is that hospital, are they cleanest place? I saw one hospital there. When I go there, I'm telling you, my dear brother, I went there to go and offer my own service.
Private or government hospital?
Hello?
Private or government hospital? The hospital.
Nearby your place there.
No, that's what I'm saying, Big Daddy. Is it a private or a government hospital you are talking about?
I'm talking about private hospital.
Okay.
And the one government hospital that's nearby.
Hello, Big Daddy.
Hello, sir.
Oh yeah, quickly, please.
Okay.
One thing again I want you to know is that he said everywhere government will not be. Government will supposed to be everywhere because if you should be able to persecute somebody that has committed offense, other people will have the fear to do that. So what I'm only asking is if you are going, please, you can drop the number.
Thank you. Thank you. More calls. Hello, somebody. Good morning.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello. I'm Paula Oluwabi. I'm calling from Pasla.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I can identify very well with you this morning.
Thank you very much, sir.
The best notice. The job is in the military era than in the political era. That's one. I think these days you have more of women who is deserving to the pressure, unlike in the past. The figure is not balanced with it. It should not be so. Also, the pressure that has evolved over the years from every service, you can remember that every service position is getting more of coercion, using and fun. With every closure of houses and shops and business centers that are highlighted, you close up. Instead of this, coercion and more commercialization from education. This is more of the era of a duty in the now profession is so short to suffer. You should put a solution. Not more judges are taking up.
Mr. Kola, we can barely hear you.
Yes, the line is breaking. We can't get that question.
Maybe I call later.
All right, please. We can't get your question. Just the question. We can't get. All right, Mr. Abolade.
Let me appreciate our callers for some of these observations. It shows that people are actually listening, and not only listening, they are interested in the environment too. So we want us to channel this our mindset to the way we deal with the environment. I said something earlier that the environment is not just about the government, it's about the people who live in the environment. So the environment is ours. Whatever we give into the environment comes back to us. So the issue of commitment, well, I don't know. It's not the issue of commitment like Mr. Tunde from Abeokuta talked about. It's about what do these officers actually work with. In the past, there are always vehicles, everything to work with. They are beck and call. But we all know that probably the situation of the country, the economics of the country, probably that's the reasons why many of these things are no longer there. So they are affecting what we output. So these are the things we talk about. It's not actually the commitment of the officers. It is what they have to work with. And somebody was saying that they dress well. I think two persons have actually, well, I don't know, do we expect environmental officers not to dress well? We are being paid, and it's part of what, that's what we do, that's us. So we need to dress, in fact we tell ourselves to dress well. So you as an officer, you must dress well to wherever you go. So but that should not undermine the work you want to do outside there. That somebody is dressing well does not mean that the reason why we put on white, actually there's no time to go into some of these details, but our white shows cleanliness. So it means that an officer himself should show example of what he wants the community to look like. On the issue of curriculum, anyway, the curriculum for environmental health practice is a very robust one. In fact, there's no time to really go into details of what the curriculum holds. But I can tell you that everything an environmental health officer needs to practice and ensure that the environment is clean and healthy is enshrined in the curriculum with which is being taught in school. So it is just not what he will learn now. It is the environment with which he will practice what he has learned. So those are the things that affect us. So we want, many of the questions here boils down to what the environmental officer wants to do to the public. But I'm putting that challenge across, that the people in the environment should also help and assist the environmental officer. For example, we have at the moment the number of environmental officers in Ogun State, for example, is very low compared to the population. And you all know that every day on a daily basis, new sites keep emerging. We have developing sites every day. Shops keep springing up, containers keep coming to the road. In fact, almost every day people are converting their houses. Yes, and the population is a kind of exploding. And yet the numbers of EHOs working at the moment has not corresponded with the increase in population. So this, and that's why up as I'm speaking with you now, we have some EHOs who work privately and in private organizations. Like Mr. Big Daddy who mentioned hospital sanitation. Yes, we have some of our members who work in the hospital. For example, we have people working at the Sacred Heart Hospital in Lantoro here, which is a private hospital. We have at FMC, we have them at the Neuropsychiatric Hospital Aru. So we have them, and also hospitals. Just like I said, healthcare waste on its own is another different aspect. Somebody who has come to the hospital to care for himself should not go home with another disease, and that's why the hospital environment should be clean. We take time also to visit the hospital, but it may not be as often as the way we visit other houses.
Let's check out the messages now. Let's check out the messages.
Okay. We got this one from Demola Onobadijo. Shouldn't owners and occupiers of properties facing blocked drains be held responsible and made to clear the drains? What is being done to houses passing wastewaters directly to the road and causing damage to these roads? This is very common in Abeokuta. And then we got this message from Eric Irieme from Elewe in Abeokuta. I appreciate the lucid explanation of Mr. Abolade. The fact is that the environmental health officials, they need more empowerment in terms of logistics in order to be effective, efficient, and just sitting down in the office is not helping the officers. They are supposed to be field officers, but these days the officers just sit in their offices and only react to complaints. God bless Rock City FM. God bless Nigeria. Then this very one from Shuaga. My appeal to the state government is to employ more environmental health officials in the local governments. The ratio to the population is very low as per WHO standard. Kudos to the invited guest. Thanks from Shuaga. Those are the messages and tweets we have for now.
All right, and yes, let's at this point stop to check the national news, which will come up at 10 o'clock. We have with us looking at environmental sanitation, the Secretary General of the Environmental Health Workers Union, Ogun State, Mr. Femi Abolade. Don't go anywhere, please. And your personality, so to say. We have with us an environmental health officer is actually the Secretary General, Environmental Staff Union here in Ogun State, Mr. Femi Abolade. Painfully, I should say that he will be leaving us. He won't be able to stay to the end of the program as he has to attend to a very pressing other state issue right now. But he will promise he will spend the next 15 minutes with us. After that, he will listen, he will monitor via the radio stream, and then can respond to issues you may raise. So we go back to do we have messages first? All right. Telephone. Yes. Okay. She says telephone. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Morning.
I'm calling back.
All right.
Oh, our sanitarian. I see this. I said this is starting to depression, unlike in the past. People is not balanced again. It's not the truth. Also, the depression, as I say, has evolved over the year from a recharging position. I think it's getting of cohesion and forth with the forceful closure of houses and shops and business centers. Instead of persuasion, less cohesion and more voluntary action from health education. Your perfect approach is more of the military era of heavy than civilian. The operation is so short of staff as you have said, contrary to WHO provision. Also, more of your job has been taken up by add up duties to address this. Also, enlighten the public that your duties comprise about 20 or so functions. On the meat inspection, formerly the health inspectors were in charge half of the landed to abattoir. But now the veterinary are taking over everything. That's another area that this operation has to tackle. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. 08098687344. Hello. Good morning. Morning, sir. Thank you.
Ola Anima Chami, the name calling from Abeokuta. The health inspector in the studio are highly appreciated.
Thank you very much, sir.
I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I am very, very, very close to the local government. I know how the operation goes. I know your incapacitations, your challenge, and I want to appreciate all the appraisers. The West Department is really empowered in this regard, as regards the assignments that you are supposed to be handling. But one area of interest today, we cannot cover everything, is the abattoir. Could you please reassure the listeners, the citizens of Ogun State, that we are still in a safe hand, that you have the situation under control as per active inspection of the cows, the cattle, the slaughtering, the operational procedure before even it gets to the market, particularly given the crisis that will easily emanate, the health crisis that will easily emanate from the abattoir. You're highly appreciated.
Thank you very much, sir.
Abolade, that keeps reoccurring. What is being done to increase the staff strength?
Well, okay, on the issue of the staff strength, well, we have identified and we have written to the government and they have been promised, and we are sure that just like the government have promised, they will definitely do something on time.
Okay, we have tweets and messages here. We got this one from Ayobami. What is the government doing to recruit more officers in the system to facilitate effective and efficient performance? Billionaire Ajishafe also tweeted, heaven is paved with gold. Our environment is littered with filth. The challenge of sanitation is that the planning of our cities and towns make it very difficult for proper sanitation to be achieved. Demola Onabadeje also tweeted again, I'm a doctor. I regularly give a 10-minute health talk to my community at the CDA meeting and every patient that consults me. I still feel having EHOs visit communities about once in 6 months, and that will further strengthen and reinforce the message to the community. And then for messages via the shortcode dial, we got this one from Femi Akinwande from Olumori. Efforts of whole, fruitful and effective. Okay, that was fruitful and effective during the military era. That has affected all the positive efforts of Wale Wales. Now go to Opik Roundabout. A place belongs to the Ministry. Okay. That place belongs to the Ministry of Environment. The odor of that area is not good at all. Thanks. Okay.
Well, are you aware of that? I like that. Yes, somebody has brought that to our notice. Somebody just mentioned it. By that Opik roundabout,
There's a stench.
there's a stench there, very, very horrible. During the day, I'm sure if you go there now, you will see the stench.
Okay, I think right now I know our officers are listening, and those who cover that area, they will definitely do something about it, because it's been long I visited that part
I'm
of
sure
so
it's still
I'm
on.
not so I'm sure our officers who are in charge of that particular area, they will take the step as they are listening now.
The other one, Abolade, I also want you to talk about before you go is, if you are going to Adaton as we speak, you see heaps of stands, deads, cabbages lined up on the street.
Right.
If you are going towards the area we call Alade Somni Adoption, by one of the most modern markets in the state capital, the Ojagbe Farmers Market there, you see it lined up there. What can you do to stop this as an immediate thing, because it's growing by the day?
Yeah, I think those things actually happened because some of the vehicles the government provided, some of them had issues. But I can still tell you that they still park them, especially that of Alade Somi, they still park it almost every time. I want to tell people, just like we're using this forum, to tell teaming members of the populace that dropping solid waste by the roadside, number one, is illegal, it is insanitary, and will not help us. We are all victims, quote and unquote. What happens in that place, what can arise from that stench, from that refuse, will affect all of us. If, God forbid, there is a mastomys rat, which is the vector for Lassa fever, get bred in that place, and then somebody contacts that Lassa fever, you know it's not just one person. It begins to go from person to person. So I want to tell people to stop placing of their waste on the roadside. Bag your waste. Use the those who are private waste collectors that have been registered by government. We have them around. We have them in Abeokuta. So when you have government vehicles coming around, bring it out and give it to them. But just, in fact, in some places we have people who bring it out. They don't just drop it. They turn their waste from the sack. They turn it onto the ground. I see it as act of wickedness and sabotage. So we want to employ our people, and please, like I mentioned the other time, environmental officers cannot be everywhere at the same time. The number is somehow limited now until the government employs more. But I want to say that wherever you see these things, please take time and report to the appropriate quarters.
All right, let us take 2 calls and he will respond. Hello. We'll take 2 before he leaves. Hello, morning.
Hello, good morning, Dele. Good morning, my sister. Good morning, our sanitarian.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is Honorable Jaji. I'm calling from the People's Parliament in Abeokuta. I'm listening to you very well, but my own observation is that number one, government needs to really have more of new people as officers. Number two, the educational aspect of it, people need to really be giving the orientation, the education that personal hygiene is something that matters. I'm on my way now along Land Tororo. You will not believe it's close to the ground there.
Okay.
Of refuge. I mean, this junction that we are very close there to, we have a lot of whatever use of refuge. This thing can cause a lot of havoc to our health. So let us do something. We can understand the government is really trying in terms of waste management or whatever, but it is high time probably they do something about it so that it's going to be more effective. Let me allow other people to call, gentlemen. God bless you people over there. God bless Nigeria.
All right, one call more so that he can attend to it before he leaves. Hello, good morning.
My name is Olariwaju Seriki from Camp Abeokuta.
Thank you, sir.
The issue of dumping refuse on road medians or by the roadside has not been our culture in Abeokuta before. Thank God the government is giving us wider roads and all those things now. I could remember when the sanitation first came into the office, they were the one that encouraged people for doing that. When we withdrew all those things that we are dumping, they would do it and they gave license to private sectors. They said we should be putting it there. People are not putting it there. To stop it now is not the problem. Government encouraged it in the first place. Now my advice is that they should put all those those big containers back to designated areas where people can dump their refuse. We have not been mature to that level. The economy of the nation does not have to patronize these private people that are doing this business. If you want our roads to be clean, our environment to be clean to prevent epidemics, let all those containers put back at strategic places. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Seriki. Of course, that's the fact. He just said it. We have it report several releases sent to us. Government will encourage people to bag it and place it by the roadside. Then people grew from that to putting it at the median, and then, like you said, to emptying it. Hoping that government will pick it for them. All right, you have some other.
Yes, I just want to attend to the issue of the abattoir inspection. Like the caller said, because of policies, government policies, at a point, environmental health officers had been the one in charge of inspection of meat from the liveage. That's where live cows are kept, till the abattoir where they are slaughtered and to when they are displayed. But because of government policies at a point, part of that job was taken away from the environmental health officer and was given to the vet officers. But I can tell you that in so many local governments, we still work hand in hand. Hand in hand in the sense that the vet officers inspect the live cows until it is slaughtered. And after it is slaughtered and put for display, the environmental health officer continues from there. Not only that, the abattoir itself, the staff of the West Department, that's water supply and environmental sanitation, where most of our officers are domiciled in the local government, they are the ones who monitor and take care of these abattoirs. So, but I can still tell you that we do our best to ensure. In fact, in a particular local government last year, a whole cow was condemned. I think it should be Raymond North in the Shire. A whole cow, because the cow was diseased, and that's the effort of our officers who were on ground to ensure that this cow cannot be sold to the public. But just like we said, that this work is so large that we will do the ones that God help us to do at a time, but we also ensure that the meat that are put up for sale are the ones that And even where they are sold, not just the meat now, even where they are sold, they are in such a state that is clean and is good. But like I said, the community can also participate. Whenever you see issues, please don't just buy because you feel they are our people. Because that's one of the issues we have. They say, and when you're one of our people, let's go and do this, let's buy it from him. Even when you know that that meat you are eating will injure you. So, and the doctor who treated on the issue of he addressing CDA meetings. Yes, I've often said it that one of the major means by which you can reach people is the CDAs. We have been doing that. I have visited several CDAs to educate them. But I always said that when your CDA meeting, you can invite EHOs to come and address people in your CDA. This will also go a long way. CDA, let us work together. We should not be the one that will now tell officers that they cannot come and work in your CDA. Let's work hand in hand. God bless Nigeria and God bless us all.
All right, we must release you. We appreciate your efforts, Mr. Femi Abolade, the Secretary General, Health Workers Union, Ogun State, for joining us to do this morning on the Citizens Forum. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, we'll take this short music break. We'll be back for the concluding half hour. Don't go anywhere. All right, once again, it's good to know that you are still there. We have to excuse him. He has this state pressing urgent state issue to attend, but he's in touch, he's listening on his way back. He's actually traveling, so he will be responding and joining us. So just continue straight, take your calls, take messages. This is a very important topic this morning that touches us right into our bedrooms. 0809-8687-344 and 0909-146-9670. Hello.
Oh, we lost that call. And for the other platforms, the show is first you type rock, then you leave a space, type your message, include your name, and forward it to 32120. For the Twitter handle, tweet at Rock City FM. The Facebook fan page, Rock City 101.9 FM. Hello.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I'm out working time.
Okay, also you can also try again. It's just the network, either or the telephone you use.
One from Scott or Lajede. It is better to be our own watchdog because when there's an outbreak, it affects everyone. So this is a tweet from Scott Oladele. Surakat Abiodun also tweeted, government should kindly bring back the refuse tank that was stationed in strategic locations in the state, and the collectors should, as a matter of urgency, come for the collection from time to time. Delay in their coming is the major problem. Scott Oladele also tweeted again, how can your organization create a volunteer group to help you on your work? Then Yemi Phillips Da Vinci tweeted, Mr. Abolade, what are you guys doing about noise pollution in the society? And then we have another tweet here from... Okay, it doesn't have anything to do with what we are discussing this morning on the program. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Yeah, volunteers.
09-868-7344 or 0909-146-9670.
This is a leader from Ayodo.
All right.
I will like health worker and the officer to provide containers, like a plastic containers, all across the state, either capital city or other cities, so that if they are dropping all the levels there and collecting. That's normal thing. We should go to abroad and see. So that's why the people are throwing the levels on the floor, on the ground. Let them provide the plastic to hang them all over so that it will decrease irregularities of dropping. Thank you so much.
All right. What about you saying that's what some people? What about those who wait for the rain to fall and then at the same time, no, inside the rain, the movement, and those who will even deliberately go into the gutters for them there. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Hello, good morning. We have you.
Hello, good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I think the Wele people should try to stop.
Can we have your name, please?
My name is Jude from Car Wash.
Okay.
The Wele people should try to stop those putting our ancestral delicate, the one they call a ball as the analysis of it. It's getting too much. You can see the calabash and the export litter the road media. This is not good. It's bad. It's affecting that area, affecting the money.
All right. Yes. Did you get that?
I got that. So that's the
please.
sports. That's the junction.
All right.
Okay, we pick more calls. 0809 868 7344.
Good morning, Dele. How are you?
Good morning.
I just want to make a complaint.
Your name, sir?
I'm Sanji. I'm calling from Ipara, Abeokuta. There was a time in our area, the Ikeja area, there was a house there without toilet. But the owner of that building was getting the compound. So that we went to Abeokuta as a local government to go and make up. That was our surprise. The officer said that they should go and bring transport money for them before they can perform their duty. I said that, what of your official can say that they don't have any official can, they don't have anything, you cannot provide the money, we should go away. And that's how we left the place. That's good.
Okay.
All right. From Abolade chairman, we expect them to call in for some of this response. Thank you. Hello. We expect them to
32120
call
is
in.
the short code down. Type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and forward it to 32120. The Twitter handle, tweet at RockCityFM. Puta, on the issue of cleaning of the environment, I'm really disturbed at the way our people in the state handle these things. Go everywhere, you'll see rubbish and garbage littering all over the place. I don't know if they want the governor to come and help them sweep their bedroom for them. Cleanliness, they say, is next to godliness. More orientation and enlightenment is needed from your end over there. I'm very disturbed. That's a message from Abdurrashid Okinla from Abeokuta. How can one join to work as Wole Wole? Okay, this is from Adiola Olaore from Arigbajo. He's asking us to
Olari from Arigbajo. To my own knowledge first, there is the institute they call Institute of Health Technology. I think there's one there in Arigbajo for to privately owned, and there's one at Ilese government owned. That's where you start from.
Okay, we go back to the calls. 0809 868 7344. Biodun. Going towards Agoba, Itoku, beside Seriki Fadari Plaza, you will see a heap of refuse that is not collected for days, and this is always the problem in other areas. Government should please strengthen the Ministry of Environment with personnel to be able to deliver on their mandate. And ever since government had started the collection of refuse across the state, there had been a very tremendous improvement and a reduction in erosion-related havoc, but government should do more to sustain this feat. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Chienye from Ashero.
Okay.
I would like the environmental health officers to please look into all our markets. Whatever they do, we will notice at that top market, Kuto market, Lafenwa, people always put all the activities in the roads. So if there's a way they can they put a site, as it has been happening in those days, it's just put a site within the market where it will be buzzing overnight. It should be a way of reducing the pressure, whatever they are using in the market. And we only know that people that are using it from their houses will now be looked into. So I want them to look into that. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We have you. Okay.
I want to talk about
Can you speak up, please?
this commercial very when they collect all these refuse before they get to that destination, the job site, all the refuse is passed. As I'm talking to you now, you come to Operation after the destination. All those refuse. It's not everywhere. So
yeah, he's talking about the PSP, the private, those who carry these things without covering it. They don't have the what do they call the other type of vehicle use. They just put it at the back of the lorry, and then before it gets to where they want to dump it, half of
Still
the thing
litters.
it's littered on the road. Okay.
Okay, we have more tweets here. We got one from Yemi Phillips Da Vinci. The cultural history of our people has to be taken into cognizance. When we look at our environmental issues, we need to wean our people off the Akiton mentality, or we find a way.
Akiton mentality.
Okay,
Akiton mentality.
thank you. Or we find a way to use it to plan our towns and cities. I remember in the past, during Babangida era, that we had refuse buildings where a community offloads its solid waste and then the local government officials evacuate it. And this refuse issue is another example of state muzzling local government functions. Whatever happened to the Ogun State Environmental Protection Agency, I wouldn't know. That's OGEPA. Then, still more tweets from him. In fairness to Governor Amosun, he closed down many businesses some years ago over bad environmental issues, but he needs to do more by employing more woles. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
My name is Muhyiddin Amigola. I'm calling from Chienye State.
Oh, thank you very much for calling.
Yeah, please, I've been following your program since, but the guest in the house said in somewhere around Egwuonwu that somebody led some dogs to attack them, and he made mention that they are uniformed but they are not armed. I just want to say this: it is not all security, it is not all uniformed agency that can be carrying arms, but they can seek the backup from police or civil defense whenever they want to do such operation. So the issue of not being armed should not be a problem, and it should not be a challenge to the effective discharge of their duty. Anywhere they know that this place, when they go there, they will attack them, they can easily inform the police or the civil defense to go with them. That's it.
All right, thank you. We appreciate it. We're doing all the way from Auchi. Yeah. But I should add, the talk about was a response to somebody's question who wants to find out. Yeah, and that's why he said they don't carry. I don't think he was using it as an excuse
For not carrying out their duties.
for not carrying out their duty. Thank you very much once again.
Hello.
The radio,
good
sir.
morning.
Morning.
I'm calling from Russia.
Okay.
Yes, there's an issue of in that dirty environment that is at Ibarra. I sent Anne gutter, which the youth have done their best to try to get the water out of the gutter, but it's not getting to because of the
Which area of Atibara?
St. Anne's Catholic Church at the gutter there.
Okay, the one that comes from that goes to Okelewo side.
Yes, sir. The drainage system there is not good, and then there is sand under the gutter, which youth have done their best to pass the sand from there, but it's not going through. So maybe we need help.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure those concerned are also. We are still expecting response from Abolade or chairman of the union. They should be calling us and trace the telephone network.
Is this your citizens?
Yes, citizens from looking at the environment this morning.
Yes, I'm calling from Abeokuta. Formalize my name, please.
Okay, go
Hello?
on. Go
We
on.
can hear you. Go on. You have 2 minutes.
Okay. So I'm calling on behalf of an area at Songwas, Ayodo, precise Ayodo, the local government.
Go on. We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you. Just go on. Clearly, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, Songwas are precise at their north, area school. They reported to the local government sanitary inspectors over there to please come over, come and check. Several times we reported to that they've not come around to come and inspect the area at all.
Actually, that area is what we call in developed countries a ghetto, really. The area he mentioned, I know it very well. Ketere is a slum. is a ghetto. So they will need more than environmental health officers actually to tackle Ketere, problems in Ketere. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Dele.
Morning.
Good morning, Chienye.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, the guest. My name is Benga Shambola.
Alright.
Yeah, I must confess, the health officials nowadays, they are lazy. And I don't want to use another word. Because most of their duty, they've compromised. Like you mentioned, okay, they were the other time that area always smell this and that. You don't want to say you don't want to say they don't know what is going on there. I don't want to mention the person that's causing those nuisance around outside. They know the place, but whenever they go there,
why don't you want to mention if you are very sure if it's a claim that can be substantiated?
The mess is always from the sensation.
So if it can be substantiated, why not?
Water and their waste they are using over there, that's what is causing the mess around that side. They know what to do. But immediately they go in, they compromise, they come out with, we will.
No, I think it would be unfair to generalize. I'm talking about the health workers. I just told you there are just 7 of them in Abeokuta South. So I think it would be unfair to generalize and say they are unfair, they are lazy, and they have compromised.
No, I'm comparing to what is happening in the olden days, compared to what is happening there. Yeah, most of them are not doing the job the way it should be. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Look the way you people are handling the job over there. I think the way the other organization are doing things. Most of our people are lazy. Most of our people are compromised. Immediately they exchange for something like this, everybody smile up and they get away or they abandon their normal course. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
What do they exchange? Handshake or greeting?
They should do the needful. They should do the needful. And I've been listening to this man from the beginning. He mentioned that they can arrest, they can lock up the house, they can do. He should give us the facts and figure out those people that they arrested and let us know what is going on. We are just hearing that they can arrest, they can do it, but they've not put it in action. So thank you. They should do the needful.
Alright, just one call more for the day. If you check your time, we are approaching the bye-bye period.
Sure.
Just one more call.
While
and
we
then we
spare
check
that call, we'll quickly check the messages and tweets. We got this tweet from Bankole Olubayo Sam. It's a pity that our environmental issues are becoming deteriorating. Gone are the days of wole. Even many residents at Obasanjo Hilltop, they dump their refuse in front of their buildings to burn it. I think it's high time to get environmental marshals in place. Sakar Raman Olayode tweeted again. Also, maybe the officials should go out to inspect and arrest those who violate the rules. Good nation needs environment. That's a tweet from Sakar Raman Olayode. And then from Apostle Key. I hope that this issue is tackled both at our people and government's end. I believe cleanliness is next to godliness. If we the people need force to adhere, then let them enforce it. And if we need to force the government to do the needful, then let us do it. And the very last call. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, please.
Yes. I'd like to do with the
SA.
This is Rock City FM.
This is Rock City FM.
Oh, sorry.
We're talking about health. Alright, thank you. We will not.
And then we wrap it up with this message from Ulushola from Abeokuta. It's absurd when people drop their waste without proper package by the roadside. The government should educate the people more on waste management.
Alright, thank you everybody that's been a part of it. Do we need force or do we need to be forced to clean our environment? Do we need force or do we need to be forced to know that dumping waste indiscriminately is wrong and hazardous? I think the answer is no. Do all you can within your powers in your environment to ensure that you keep it clean. Cleanliness, like she told us, is next to godliness. Dele Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you all. God bless Nigeria and God bless Rock City.
And then it's always said that charity begins at home. Let that cleanliness start from you and I. My name is Chienye Egwuonwu. Good morning.